Hi everyone, welcome to Automation Testing Series by Star Agile. I am Satyam. I'll be your guide throughout this journey. In this video, we'll be covering Selenium versus Playwright, introduction to Playwright and its powerful features. So let's get started. Welcome back everyone. So in this chapter, we are going to understand what exactly the tools you can, refer it to automate any sort of test cases, right? So many tools are available in the market, right? So namely Selenium tool, which is quite famous, right? It's been many years since people are using Selenium. Now latest trend has come in the market is Playwright, and people or the company are now adopting Playwright as a tool to automate any test cases, right? So I'll just do the brief difference between what exactly Playwright does and what exactly Selenium does, right? Because see, Selenium, you guys understand, right? When it has come, it has been like around 20 years, more than 20 years since it has come. But Playwright, it has been just 4 to 5 years since it has come. But Playwright has come with great features which Selenium doesn't have. That's why many companies are adopting Playwright as an automation tool. So we are going to see what is the difference between Playwright and Selenium, and what is the ideal tool you should be pick up in 2025 or 2026 to do the automation testing, and which will be helpful for you when you prepare for any interview, or you can suggest this tool in your project itself to the manager, so that manager will be kind of very keen and interested to know about this tool, and so that you can pitch in your idea basically to the manager. So let's get started. We'll talk about what exactly the difference between Playwright and Selenium. Let's start, guys. So Playwright and Selenium, right? So what I'll do, I'll just partition Selenium and Playwright, so that you can easily find out the difference between Selenium and Playwright. So first point, right? When Selenium has been launched, so Selenium had come in the market in 2004. Okay, so in the 2004, the Selenium has come in the market. It is very much kind of stable tool, you can say, because it's, see, suppose now it is 2025, right? And it has come in 24, so it's been around 20 years since this tool has come. So it is very much stable, right? This Playwright basically has been introduced in 2019, right? Why it has been introduced? Basically to meet modern testing needs. So whatever the new demands are there in the testing, right? So that has been made by Playwright tool. That's how it has come here. Modern testing needs. So second point would be, what are the things Selenium supports? So Selenium supports things in the sense like what all the browsers it supports. So first it is Chromium. So Playwright supports Selenium supports Chromium, Firefox. What else? Then it supports Chrome, WebKit, right? So these are the browsers basically Selenium supports. Here Playwright supports again WebKit, then it supports Chrome, which is like Chromium, you can say Chromium, Firefox, and then what else we have? We have many more tools which is there. Many more browsers, you can say it has been supported by Playwright. The third point would be the speed. So basically, see, as I told before, it has come in 2004, right? So in 2004, it's been 20 years now. So because of its old architecture, the speed of this is old architecture. architecture, the speed is very slow. Okay, but Playwright, it comes with his native browser control. Native browser, just browser control. Please excuse my writing over here. Okay, so it comes with native browser control. That's why it is very much faster, right? Fourth point would be Selenium actually having kind of manual weights. So that's why it's kind of very much slow, and you need to explicitly define your weights over here in Selenium, right? Right, explicit weight, implicit weight, you guys will be knowing. But in Playwright, it has auto weight capability, auto weight, which allows users to run the script very much faster without any delay. Okay, so it has their own auto weight, weight present in Playwright. We'll talk about auto weight in our future sessions, but just to know the difference, it has inbuilt auto weight. That's why it is very much faster, right? Next point will be kind of setting up, right? So it is the setting of the complex setting of the Selenium files or Selenium tool is very much complex. Why? Because it has different jars, different dependencies, right? All the things you need to install it. But in Playwright, you don't have anything as such. Playwright offers simple and quick setup. Okay, you have just one code or one command you need to run in the terminal, and everything will be done. And regarding the dependencies and all, everything comes inbuilt when you run that particular command, right? So these are the main differences which I found. There are further more differences I'll explain now, so that you will get to know why Playwright we are adopting it nowadays rather than Selenium, right? As I spoke before about the Playwright, what all the languages Selenium and Playwright does. So Selenium supports Java, Python, C#, Ruby, Perl, PHP. Okay, and what Playwright supports is JavaScript, Java, Python, C#. Okay, so these all the things has been supported by Playwright. Second would be install. Okay, so this one Playwright is having very much small process to install it. That's why we prefer Playwright always. Selenium, right, it's kind of very much complex and it is kind of very much tedious to install it. So that's why we always go for Playwright. Next step will be test runner. Okay, so Playwright has different test runner framework like Mocha, Jest, Jasmine. These are like kind of frameworks you'll get to know later on when we progress about Playwright in the further videos. But for now, you just know like these are the test runners which has been using by Playwright. But in Selenium, it has a library, and this library can be used with test runner like JUnit, TestNG, NUnit. You guys will be knowing, right? So these are the frameworks Selenium is having. Some more differences of Selenium and Playwright with example, right? So see here, as I spoke before, languages. So Playwright supports JavaScript, Java, Python, .NET, right? But Selenium, it supports multiple languages like Java, Python, C#, Ruby, Perl, PHP, JavaScript. Installation. Playwright, it is very easy to install. Selenium, it is easy to install, but there are many things to install actually. Okay. Test runner. Okay, so as I spoke before, test runner. Playwright supports Mocha, Jest, and Jasmine as a test runner, but Selenium is having JUnit, TestNG, NUnit as a test runner. Okay, trace viewer. So Playwright comes with a trace viewer feature where you can debug each and every line of code. But here, if you see, there is no feature to execute or debug. Okay, in Selenium. So that is the kind of drawback which is there in Selenium. Again, prerequisites as I spoke before, Node.js, So we need to have Node.js installed, and here in Selenium we need to have many things like Java, Eclipse IDE, Selenium standalone server, client language binding, browser drivers. These all the things should be installed, right? So this is kind of very much tedious, because here just single thing you need here, right, to download it and install it. Operating system, right? So here in Playwright we have Windows, Linux, Mac and Mac as a operating system. Here also they have the same thing, only thing is like Solaris, which is rarely used, but these are the difference which I have. Open source, okay, these both are open source and free, right? Architecture wise, it it gives basically headless browser with event driven architecture. Means, see, browser here you can run it in headed mode over here, but here it is kind of layered architecture based on the JSON wire protocol, but also support headless. It has headless, but the thing is like its architecture is kind of very much layered and very much tedious, and it's kind of very much big. And if you see about the browser supported, so Playwright supports Chromium, Firefox and WebKit. Here it supports more like Chromium, Firefox, IE. These all the things are there, right? Again, if you see about the support, since Playwright is fairly new, support from the community is limited kind of Selenium. Although the support of Playwright is kind of limited, okay, but it is very much faster rather than Selenium, because Selenium sometimes what happens, it takes a lot of time. Then real device support it supports basically the real device, okay, like cloud or remote servers. Here also it supports real devices and cloud, both the things, but only thing is like the connection of this would be kind of very much easier as compared to Selenium, right guys? So here are the key features of Playwright. So first is wide cross-browser coverage. This tool is useful for testing complex and application. Means you can test the complex application of an complex applications whatever you have, right? It is very much easier for you to do it. Second thing is like end-to-end testing. You can do it. Auto wait mechanism, as I spoke before. It has inbuilt auto wait mechanism. So these all the things will be talking about later on the point. But what I will do is I will just show the Playwright here. See, this is how the Playwright looks basically. It has this GitHub, it has node modules, it has Playwright, it has data, it has test results, package lock, package JSON, Playwright config. These all the things are involved in Playwright. User can go here, they can create a new file, new text file, new window. User can open file, open folder where you have created the workplace. You can open the recent workspace from the file. User can open the recent files. User can add work folder or workplace, anything. These all the things can be done by Playwright, right? And also there is a terminal here, okay. So terminal we can run it, what exactly it is, and basically like how exactly you can run the test scripts, right? So we run it through the terminal itself. So those all the things we can do it here, right? Ports, Playwright, output, what exactly the outputs are, if any sort of errors are coming, what are the errors or problems we are getting it, right? So these all the things will be explained inside this Playwright video. Apart from that, it comes with this. See, this is the file part. Here if you want to search certain number of keyword, right? So suppose like if you want to search name and just type it, right? So it is very much easier for you to check what exactly the keyword you are searching it, and entire repo you will be able to check it. So suppose I have written the name, so wherever the name is present you can just go it and search it. Then so then we have this one. This is basically the source control for the Git. You can push all the code to the your remote repository in the GitLab, right? These all the things will be possible here. Here there is option of run and debug. User can easily run and debug it. Like you can open the debugger here and you can validate each and every line of the code. Then we have market extensions. If you certain number of extensions you want to download, right, you can download it here, right? And then we have test here. Basically this is not much required, but then till here basically these things, everything is required, okay. Apart from that, here we have settings where you can see profiles, set what are the settings are there, extensions, snippets, tasks. These all the things you can see over there. This is your profile name, right? This is the thing that if you have like GitHub profile, let's suppose mine is Satyam8235. This is the GitHub profile I have on the repo, right? GitHub. So these all the things will show here. Also, if you go over here, we can open here terminal. We can split the terminal. We can open the new terminal. We can run the task, run build task, run active file. These all the features are available in the file. If you want some help, right, then you can go here. You can see different commands, you can see the documentation, you can see release notes, uh, video tutorials, report issue, right? So also what you can do is, so these are the things available in the Playwright, which I'll be talking about in the next video. But for now, these I have just shown the high level what exactly the things are present in the Playwright. So far you guys have understood like why exactly we need to use the Playwright, correct? So again, Playwright has their its own website. Okay, if you go and type Playwright dev, so see here, this is, they have their own Playwright website, which has been developed by Playwright itself, where you can see different docs available, right? How to install, how to what are the commands used. These all the things will be using if we any sort of API testing you are doing. So guys, API testing is also possible in Playwright, right? So you can use that. You can go here and can see the documents present here, like what all the present what all the latest versions are there, everything you can see here, right? API request, API response, browser, everything you can see here, right? Community, you can go and check like what are the things are trending nowadays, right? In YouTube, Stark Workflow, blog, news. So this is the kind of official website they have. So this is very much useful, guys. Okay, if you want to start, right, just click on get start and you can go and see the things. You can see the release notes also. So if you go here and see here, what all the new APIs have come, what all the new reporters has come, right? What all the changes are come, what are the browsers they are supporting. Suppose you have Chromium, right? So this Chromium version now it is supporting 141. So you can see like what exactly the Chromium version you are using here, right? In the Playwright. So these all the things you can see for the Chromium, for the Firefox, for WebKit, right? These all the things will be visible. Even the versions you can see like what exactly the correct version is going on for the Playwright. So now the version is going on is 1.55 basically, right? New APIs you can see. You can, this code gen functionality and all is like kind of very much trending functionality which is present in the Playwright, which we will be talking in further slides or further videos. For now, just keep in mind like code gen is the functionality which we have in the Playwright, right? What all the annotation, configuration, fixtures, parameterization, everything is present in this website. Okay, where and here if you right side, if you can see, this is the latest version we have of Playwright, but other versions also you can see like what all the changes have happened in other versions, correct? If you see here, see, so whatever the changes have happened throughout, right, starting from 1.7 till 1.56, everything is written over here, correct? Also you can see here what are the things it supports. It supports Node.js, it supports Python, Java, .NET. These all the files will be supported by Playwright, understood? So that's why it is helpful. Okay, if you see, you don't have to much worry about what exactly the tools you need to do for the automation testing. Just go straight away for the Playwright. See, I'll show one more benefits of Playwright. Just you go to the Google and just see why Playwright, right? So you'll get to know what exactly the usefulness. See, Google also say Playwright is a popular choice of web automation due to speed, reliability, and modern feature. These all the things are present in Playwright, right? That's why again and again I'm telling, rather than going to Selenium, Playwright is kind of very much hot topic, okay, in 2025 or 25, 26, because of its these are the things, features. These features we'll be talking in the next video, but then still I'm just giving high level like Playwright is very much essential nowadays, right? And every company is adopting Playwright because of their functionalities. Since we are talking specifically about Playwright, then Playwright, it is basically open source. It is open source. Okay. So it is open source and it is kind of end-to-end framework for modern web applications. It is used for modern web applications. So what it shows is it gives you reliable and efficient cross browser testing, right? So it gives, so basically it is an open source end-to-end framework for modern as well as for web application.
Show slide as well as
that gives there is no slide actually. Slide is this one, this only, introduction to Playwright and its features.
Show that to itself at least.
Okay, yeah. So web application, and so this is basically web. So it is an open source end-to-end web application for modern web websites, and basically where user can do the cross-browser testing, right? It also supports multiple browsers like Chrome, Firefox, Safari, WebKit. Okay, so same thing if you see here. So I have written here in this slide itself, which we are talking about, introduction to Playwright and its features, and this is their website, like dev website, which I have taken from. Okay, so you can go to their website also, and you can understand what exactly the usefulness and the features which Playwright is having. Still, I'm going to explain this the same thing. So till now we were understanding what is Playwright. Now we'll go and deep dive into its features. What are its key features present basically? So key features are, so let me erase this point first of all, so that we'll see one by one. In my system already the Playwright and other stuffs are installed, so probably I'll try to show the key features over there also. So first, the key feature is cross browser testing, cross browser and compatibility testing. Compatibility. Okay, what it does mean is basically cross browser in the sense, we need, if suppose we want to test any application in different browsers, then in that case we need to go for cross browser testing, different browsers. This is what it means. Cross browser in different browsers, if you want to test it, then we will go for cross browser testing. And compatibility testing is basically testing in different platforms. Platforms in the sense what, like Mac, Linux, Windows, right? So these all are platforms. So we can test it in Mac, Linux, as well as Windows, and we can test in different browsers. This is one key feature which they have. So if you go to the Playwright, see, so Playwright, there is something called playwright.config.js, where in the config file it has been written here clearly the type of browsers it supports. See, it is supporting Chromium, Firefox, WebKit, and what all the platforms you can support it. So you can see here mobile, Safari, and Microsoft Edge, Google Chrome. These all the things are there, right? So so it has been already written, like where and all you can run this particular Playwright in the config file. So that's why it is very much useful when we do the cross browser testing as well as cross platform testing. Okay, the second point, we'll talk about second point. Supports multiple programming. Okay guys, so it basically supports multiple programming. So what are the programmings it supports? JavaScript, TypeScript, Python, .NET and Java. Okay, so these are the number of website usually. These are the number of, sorry, my bad. So these are the number of programming languages which has been being supported by Playwright, right? So, but mostly people go with JavaScript or TypeScript when they use Playwright. Why? Because see, we need to just install Node for this JavaScript, okay, and it is very much kind of straightforward things, right? So that's why most of the people prefer JavaScript or TypeScript rather than preferring Java or Python or any other languages. Okay. So now, sorry. So third point would be it has automatic waiting mechanism. Understood? Waiting. What does it mean basically is, so wait in the sense it comes with by default waiting mechanism. So basically there is a keyword name await. Whenever you want to do any actions before writing any code, you have to write await. I explain this thing in later point of our video, but for now await carries waiting of an action to be performed. Okay, so it has their inbuilt waiting mechanism. Unlike Selenium, okay, Selenium what they had is there we had to provide implicit wait, explicit or fluent wait, right? But in Playwright it has their own inbuilt waiting mechanism that makes very much unique. If you compare to other testing tool, right, this comes with very much unique functionality, which is having waiting mechanism, and the usefulness of this you will get to know in the later point of the video. You will understand how important it is, waiting, right, and how important when we talk about synchronization, right, then you will get to know what exactly the actual use of this particular feature. Next point, before we go to the next point, let me clear this page. Okay guys, just a minute, so I'll just clear out this page. Okay, so let's go ahead. So now the next point we have is code gen functionality. Code gen functionality, what exactly it is you don't have to write the code itself. Using the code gen functionality, you just have to write the command, and then after that you just need to provide your URL. Okay, whatever the URL you will provide it will automatically launch that URL. Suppose www.google.com. so it will open the google.com, and whatever the actions you will do, suppose you are hovering in one element, you are clicking on any button, you are finding XPath, whatever you want to do, right, everything will be recorded by CodeGen. We will having the script over there, it will be written over there, all the script, whatever the action we are performing on the website, everything will be written over here. So you don't have to worry about what all the things you have missed it, or what all the things you have not covered it, right, because whatever the actions you will perform it, you will get the code over here. But we don't much rely on this, but since it is a key feature, I'm just telling about CodeGen. But when you do real-time project sites, in that case it may not be helpful, because couple of locators which CodeGen will give, that may change if it is dynamic. So that's why we don't rely much on CodeGen, but it is a very much useful when you start your understanding of the Playwright, and when you are just learning it, right, in the initial phase. Then that time you can use CodeGen to understand how does it work, and how can you use this feature. Okay, next point, let me erase this. This page is kind of small, that's why it's taking much more space. I have to again and again erase it. So next point we have is fifth point, inspector. So this inspector feature Selenium doesn't have, it only Playwright has. What is the use of this inspector feature is basically it will debug your each and every line of code. Debug every line of code. Understood? So what it does basically is, with this inspector, how exactly you can open the inspector first of all. So there is a command name. I'll explain in the when we deal with the real time example, then and also I'll explain, but just for now the example is await page dot pause. When you give this function pause, then what will happen is it will open the inspector, and that inspector will open it, and then you can just go step by step and see where exactly the code is failing, right? And that particular path you can just come in the script and just change it. That's all. So you just have to come in the path and just change that particular path where this issue has happened, right? So this is very, very important, right? Okay, in the real time you guys will be using it many times. Okay, so just to note this point, this inspector, we have to use it all the time wherever the debug you need to do, because you can debug each and every line of code. So last point is you can have a HTML report. Okay guys, so report, so you can generate your report there, and this report is kind of very much detailed way. I'll show in the later point of video where you will see how exactly the reports are, what has been passed, what has been failed, screenshots, videos, everything will be available in that particular inspector. So that's why I'm just focusing it. So all the 6 features are very much essential when we do the real time practicing of Playwright, right? So that's why I'm saying again and again, all the features we will be using throughout our journey. Okay, either it's page.pause, await, inspector, everything. These all the key features are present in Playwright, which other testing tool, when we were talking about difference between Selenium and Playwright, that time also I spoke these all the things, but then now also I'm speaking these. All the points are very much essential when we go and do the testing activities, and when you start exactly automating that any script, right? That's why this particular slide I'm talking about, its features and its particular feature, because when you are going real time, when you are going to install and installation and do certain things, before that you need to understand why exactly we are going to the Playwright and what is the feature basically it is having, right? So that's why we have come through, right? So that's all guys. In the next video we'll talk about the setting of the Playwright and we'll do some hands-on. Thanks guys. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give it a thumbs up. And if you are looking to earn a globally recognized certification in automation testing, be sure to check our Star Agile automation testing course. The link is in description. Thanks for watching and keep learning. I will see you in the next video.